Okay, hi folks. Today I'm going to teach you basic proportionality theorem. Basically, this is the first theorem in the textbook. It's a very important theorem. It's a very important theorem, and it every year comes this or the converse. It every year comes in basically your geometry paper for the SSC board. So let's look at this theorem. Let's start straight away. Basic proportionality theorem. So first I'll be explaining you what the property is. So basically it's a property, and then let's go ahead and solve or prove that property. So I have a triangle A, B, C. I have this triangle, and basically this triangle has a line which is parallel to a side. So let me call that XY. So I have a line XY which is parallel to BC. Okay, yeah. So let me say XY intersects the triangle, the sides of the triangle at X and Y, at points X and Y. So this is point X and this is point Y. Okay. So, and more specifically, let me call this as line L. So I have a line L which intersects two sides of the triangle. It intersects two sides of the triangle, one at point X and another at point Y. Okay, so what we are going to do is uh, look around at the property. Okay, what is basic proportionality theorem? I'll give you around two or three examples, and then we'll go ahead and solve the property actually. Okay, so let's go ahead. So what does basic proportionality theorem say? Basic proportionality theorem says that if a line cuts two sides of a triangle and it is parallel to the third side, so this is my first side, this is my second side, so it is cutting two sides and it is parallel to the third side, that is this side. Okay guys, again let me repeat, if a line cuts two sides of the triangle, so this is the first side and this is the second side, if it cuts two sides of the triangle and it is parallel to the third side, so if you look at this, it's parallel to the third side, then what happens is it divides the two sides in equal proportions. It divides the two sides in equal proportion. That means the ratio this upon this will be equal to this upon this. Okay, so if a line cuts two sides of a triangle, if a line cuts two sides of a triangle, okay, and it is parallel to the third side, then what is going to happen? It's going to divide the two sides in equal proportion. So when I say proportion, that means yeah, ratios will be equal. So basically this thing upon this thing will be equal to this thing upon this thing. So let me go ahead and write the property, that is ax upon xb is equal to ay upon yc. Okay, ax upon xb is equal to ay upon yc. Okay, let's take up one more example. Let me draw a figure which is probably not as simple as this is. Obviously it's uh, simple, the property is definitely simple, but let's look at a different orientation of the diagram. Okay, let me say this is a and b, and let me call this as line x this time. Okay, so again let me name the property. Okay, let me again go through the property. So I start with this. Okay, I start with this. So you look at the line. Okay, this is the line, this is the line, line x is the line. Okay, it's parallel to this side qr. Basically I start from the apex. Always remember, you start from the apex. So this pa, I'm starting from the apex, pa upon aq is equal to, again you start from the apex, pb upon br. Okay, and then one final let's go to, let me give you an example of one final uh, let me give you one final example of this. So let me call this as x, y, and z, and this is my line, guys. This is my line. So this is line M. Okay, and let me call these 2 points. Okay, so I'm calling this point as A and this point as B. Again, what does the property say? The basic proportionality theorem says that if a line, this is the line, like my line L, my line M is the line, it cuts two sides. So this is the first side and this is the second side. It's cutting the two sides and it is parallel to the third side. Look at this line. This line and this line are parallel. So what does basic proportionality theorem say then? If it is cutting two sides and it is parallel to the third side, then the proportion of, basically it will cut it in equal proportions. So basically this is my apex now. This is my apex. Okay. So this upon this, that is XA upon AY will be equal to, again you start from xb upon bz. So we have got enough idea about the theorem, about the property. So this is the property. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, I would want to give you one final example, okay, so that you understand it properly before you actually go to the theorem. Okay, definitely the theorem is important, but understanding the property over here is much more important. Okay, because the theorem is definitely going to be coming in the exam, but you'll be using this property in multiple questions. Okay, you'll be using this property in multiple questions. Okay, okay, so now see, this is your line, this is the first side, this is the second side, and it is parallel to the third side. Look at the third side. So basically this and these are parallel. Okay, so both of them are parallel. Okay, now what I told you is you start from the apex. So now which will be the apex, guys? Which one will be the apex? Which one is going to be the apex? So see, always remember, if this is your line, this is your parallel side, the apex is always going to be in front of that. Look, if this is your line, this is your parallel side, then the apex is always going to be in front of it. If this is your line, this is your parallel side, then the apex is always going to be in front of it. Look at this. If this is your line, this is your parallel side, then your apex is always going to be in front of it. So you first locate the apex point, then from year to year, ax upon xb is equal to ay upon yc. So why I give you so many orientations was because you might not get only one orientation in the exam. You might get multiple orientations. So that's the only reason. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead. So now I'm going ahead and going to solve the theorem exactly. Okay, so I have triangle ABC. I have, this is line, if I say this is line this is line probably L, and this is X and Y. Okay, so now everyone, all of us know the property. Before that, in the exam, it's very important. Whenever we are solving the exam, the question paper in the exam, whenever we write theorems in geometry, okay, I'm talking about the perspective of SSC board, Maharashtra SSC board. Okay, there's a format which needs to be followed. That is first the diagram, then whatever is given. Okay, what is given over here? Okay, let's write what is given. In triangle ABC, line L is parallel to BC. So I know that this line L is parallel to BC, and always remember, whenever you have something parallel, you denote that with these small arrows. Okay, you denote that with these two small arrows. So both of these lines are parallel. Okay, okay. To prove, what do I need to prove? I need to prove the property, definitely. So before you write the property, what you're going to do is, you, okay, like I told you, this is your line, guys, this is your line. There shouldn't be any confusion when you are solving this. This is your line, this is your parallel side. So where is your apex point going to be? The apex point is going to be एकदम उसके सामने. It's going to be right in front of it. So this is your apex point. Let me erase this so that yeah, so that was for explanation. So now your apex point is going to be right in front of that. So this is your line, this is your parallel side. you trace this like this, and this is your apex point. So I go ahead and say ax upon xb is equal to ay upon yc. Okay, ay upon yc. So now our task is, we've understood the property. Definitely we need to go ahead and understand basically how do we actually go and prove the theorem. How do we go and prove the theorem? That's the task here, folks. Okay, so let's understand that now. Okay. There's a small construction over here. There's a small construction. So I am going to do this theorem exactly the way the board exam or the board, the Maharashtra board, when they correct the papers, basically they're going to expect a particular format for you to get complete marks or full marks. So this is the format. Okay, so first your diagram, then your given, then your two proof, and then your construction, whatever construction you're doing. So I'm going ahead and saying join by. Okay, so I'm going to join by and cx. So basically I'm joining these 2 points. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and look at my proof, guys. Let's go ahead and going to look at my proof. Now what I'm going to do is, just for, so we have done this already, guys. We have done this already in the first part of the chapter. Triangles with common bases, common heights, triangles with common triangles with uncommon bases, uncommon heights. So I'm going to just revise that. Okay, look at this, folks. So let me explain you using this diagram, okay, instead. See, I have these 2 triangles. I have this triangle and I have this triangle. And I have the third triangle also, definitely, which is the biggest triangle. But right now, let's not look at that. Let's stick to the smaller 2 triangles only. Okay. So I have ADC and I have DBC. Okay, guys, pay attention. This is very important. If you understand this, almost the entire theorem over here is going to be over. Okay. So I have ADC and I have DBC. Now, if you look at this, the bases of both are collinear. So I'm going to make an important point. Bases are collinear. Bases are collinear. Collinear means they are on one line. So you look at this, AD and DB. So AD is the base for ADC and DB is the base for DBC. So the bases are collinear. And second is apex point is same. So look at this. What is the apex point for this triangle? C is the apex point for this triangle. Look at DBC. What is the apex point? Apex point means I can consider as the topmost point. So the topmost point over here again is C. So in this type of scenario, this type of setup where the bases are collinear and the apex point is same, we say they are triangles with common height. Okay, we say that they are triangles with common height. Definitely here, the height is something which is going to be perpendicular to the base. So if this is the base, if this is the base, this is going to be the height. Mind you guys, this cannot be the height because heights and bases are always perpendicular. Heights and bases are always perpendicular. So there is an imaginary height outside, which definitely I'm not interested in, but I know that this height is common for this triangle as well as this triangle. Okay. So basically, let me give you one more example, guys, over here. Let me give you one more example. If I have something like this, look at this. Look at this triangle. Look at P, Q, R, and S. So look at PQS. Its base PS is over here, and look at QSR. Its base SR is over here. So both the bases are definitely collinear. So this condition is satisfied. And second is apex point is same. So look at this apex point. It's same for both the triangles. So in this case, again, I will have a height. Again, I can't say this is the height because it's not perpendicular. So what I'll go ahead and drop a perpendicular height. Okay, this is an imaginary height which is common for both. So in such a setup where bases are collinear and apex point is same, I go ahead and say that the triangles with common height. They are triangles with common. They are triangles with common height. So their heights are common. And we have seen area of triangle 1 upon area of triangle 2. when their heights are common, so basically see half into base into height, half into base into height. This is 1, this is basically 1, this is 2 and 2. Half and half it gets cut. Okay, so this is the formula for area of triangle, guys. This is the formula for area of triangle. Half into base into height, half into base into height. Half and half gets cut. Now what did I say? They are triangles with common height. There is an imaginary height, definitely, which is common. Okay, let me take one more scenario. Okay, guys, look at this. This is already given perpendicular. So this is the base and this is the height. Again, bases are collinear. Yes, this triangle ka base over here, this triangle ka base over here. So definitely bases are going to be collinear. Collinear means they are on one line. And is the apex point same for both? Yes. This triangle has, this is the apex point. This triangle also has, this is the apex point. So I can say apex point is also same. So in this case, again, the heights are going to be constant, or the heights are going to be common. Okay. But over here, you can see that this height is given. So this is actually the height. But wherever it's not perpendicular, you can't say that that is the height. Okay. Guys, okay. Let's go ahead and drop all this. So what I just explained to you was, okay, so I was explaining this. So see, since I told you the heights are constant, the heights and heights will get cut. So area 1 upon area 2 will be equal to base 1 upon base 2. Area 1 upon area 2 would be base 1 upon base 2. Okay. So now you might be wondering, why did I explain you all this? Definitely, it's a part of our theorem. We need to know this. It's a part of our theorem. So this was the basics which we had already done in the last class, guys. Let's go ahead and look at this setup now. So I have A, B, C, D. Okay, or let me give it the exact same name based on my triangle. So look at this. I'm going to plug out. I'm going to plug out this one and this one also. Okay, let me make it more precise. So this triangle I've drawn it over here, and this triangle I've drawn it over here. So AXY and B. Now see, if you understood this, then you can say 30% of your theorem is done. Look at this. Look at this. This is the base if I consider, and this is the base if I consider again. That means both the bases are collinear, definitely. So AX and XB are the bases, and definitely they are collinear, because this both of them are collinear. Collinear means they are going to lie on one line. And if I look at it like this is my apex point. Okay, this is my apex point. Okay. So if this is the base, your apex point is going to be right in front of that. So that means again I can see that these two triangles have common bases. Okay, so this base, they have common heights. So let me draw the diagram like this. Okay, if I say A, if I say Y, see A, B and X. So look at this, base AX, base XB. Okay, so bases are definitely collinear, and this is your apex point. This is your apex point. So when bases are collinear, apex point is same for both. They are triangles with common height. And what is the formula for triangle with common height? Area of triangle 1 upon area of triangle 2 is equal to base 1 upon base 2. So in this case, it will be AX upon XB, because this is our base 1, this is our base 2. So AX upon XB. So this is it. This is it. I hope you guys have understood. What I'm going to do is I'm going to replicate this in over here. So my first step is going to say, in triangle AXY and triangle XBY. See, like I told you, this is the base, this is the base, both the bases are collinear. And if you look at the apex point, Y is the apex point. Look at this. This is the base. This triangle joins to Y. This is the base. This triangle joins to Y. Okay. So base joining to Y, base joining to Y. So if I had to draw it outside again, guys, see base, and both joining to Y. So this becomes your apex point. something which is exactly in front of your base. Okay, so in that case, triangle with common height. Okay, triangle with common height ax upon, so basically area of triangle axy upon area of triangle. So this is axy and this is xby. There will be nothing but base 1 upon base 2, and the base over here is ax. Similarly, the base over here is xb. So I'll say triangles with common height. Okay. Yes. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to use another colored marker, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. Look at this, look at this, look at this, guys, look at this. This is the base again. This is the base again. Let me complete this triangle. So axy again, I got axy again. So I'm saying in triangle axy, and using this as the base, I'm going to complete this triangle. I'm going to complete this triangle CXY or CYX, whatever. So this triangle and this triangle, the CXY. Now look, the bases are collinear. This is the base, right? And this is exactly uske samne, this will be your apex point. Okay, exactly. So basically something like this is going to happen now, guys. Something like this is going to happen. If this is your base, this is your base, this one, this is your base, this is your base, exactly in front of that. This is going to be your apex point. So apex point is constant, guys, for both. So what is going to happen now? They are going to again be triangles with common height. They're again going to be triangles with common height, and triangles with common height. So area of triangle AXY upon area of triangle CXY is going to be again base 1 upon base 2, and the base over here is AY, and base over here is YC. Again, I'll just replicate the same reason, triangles with common height. Okay. Now let's go to my next part. Okay, so now I've redrawn the diagram because I want to explain you something else. Okay, I've redrawn the same diagram because I want to explain you something else. Now, what do I want to explain you? So right till now we have seen triangles with common heights. Now let me explain you this. Suppose I have two parallel lines, and this is a triangle, and this is another triangle. Definitely the height over here is going to be same because there are two parallel lines. The distance between two parallel lines will never change. How much also they exceed up to infinity, the distance is never going to change. Okay, so that means definitely the height is constant. Now in this case, the bases are not common. Look at this. This has a different base. This has a different base. Okay. So, but I know definitely that if there are two parallel lines, the height will definitely be constant. So if I say this is h1 and this is h2, h1 is going to be equal to h2 because they are between two parallel lines. So the distance, so suppose I draw a third line over here, I draw another, all these are going to be equal because they are between two parallel lines. The length between two parallel lines, or probably the distance, or definitely the distance between two parallel lines is not going to change. So that means I got that the heights are constant. Now what about the bases? Definitely your base 1 is not equal to base 2 because they are two different bases. But now what if I change my diagram to something like this? What if I change my diagram to something like this, guys? Okay, let's understand. Okay, let's understand. Suppose I have something like this. I have this, and this is the height. Look at here, guys. Look at here. This is a triangle with this as the base. This is another triangle with this as the base. So in this case, what is happening? The heights, like I told you, are already constant because they are between two parallel lines, and the bases are also constant. So in that case, what happens? Suppose I write the formula: half into base into height, half into base into height. This is base 1 height 1, this is base 2 height 2. Half gets cut. See, look over here, the bases are constant because for this triangle, this is the base, as well as for this triangle, this is the base. So the base is going to get cut, and I also know that these two are parallel lines, so height also will get cut. So in this case, the ratio of the areas will be 1 upon 1. So triangles with common base as well as common height triangles with common base as well as triangles with common height, the ratio of the area is going to be 1/1. Now I'm going to use this over here. Look at this triangle, guys. Look at this triangle. This triangle, and look at this triangle. So what am I talking about is XBY and so I talked about XBY and I'm talking about XYC. So what is happening? See, this is the height because this is a parallel line and this is another parallel line definitely. So if I talk about this height and I talk about this height, definitely they're going to be constant because they are between two parallel lines. And if I talk about XY as the base, if I talk about XY as the base, okay, if I talk about something like this, see this can be the inverted base for both the triangles. So now what I get that the heights are constant. This XY is the base, that is also constant. So now see, because these are between two parallel lines, so everyone should agree that this is the heights are going to be constant. And now I also got that this is the common base for both. Look at this XY. See, if I say XBY, XY इसमें भी है, and if I say XCY, XY इसमें भी है. तो ये XY जो है common base हो जाएगा मेरा. This will become a common base. Okay, I hope you guys understood. Okay, just erase this. Okay, and read out or draw my diagram. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So area of triangle XBY upon area of triangle XYC is definitely going to be 1/1 because base is constant, guys. Again, I'm reiterating, base is constant for this triangle. This is the base for this triangle. This is the base, and heights will also be constant. Heights will also be constant because of the simple fact that they are between two parallel lines. So triangles with common base and height. Okay. Now fourth step. If I cross multiply this, definitely area of triangle XBY into 1 is going to be XBY. Area of triangle XYC into 1 is going to be XYC. Okay, guys. Fair enough. Now let's divide 1 by 2. Let's divide 1 by 2. Let's divide this one with this one. Let's divide first one with second one. Okay, so LHS I'm going to divide AXY upon area of triangle XBY. So I'm going to do, so this is my first one. Okay, I'm going to divide it to the second one. Area of triangle AXY upon area of triangle CXY, and that I'm going to divide with this part. Okay, that is going to be AX because left hand side gets divided with left hand side, right hand side gets divided with right hand side. AX upon XB upon AY upon YC. So now what is going to happen, folks? See, AXY is constant, so it will get cut. And look at this, XBY and XYC, they are also same because I got it from here. They are equal. So if they are equal, those also will get cut. So what will remain over here? 1/1. So now I'm going to continue the theorem over here because of shortage of space. I'm going to continue the theorem over here because of shortage of space. I'll just reiterate what I just said. Look, I divided first by second. So the entire LHS gets divided with the entire LHS. Entire LHS gets divided with the entire LHS. Entire RHS gets divided with the entire RHS. Now look, AXY and AXY, numerator constant. Now look at the denominator. This is the denominator, this is another denominator. But both of the denominators are equal from the fourth step. Okay, XBY and XYC, they're constant. So I cut both of them. So what is remaining? 1/1. So 1/1 is equal to, and we know division of fractions. The numerator fraction remains as it is, AX upon XB multiplied by the denominator fraction gets inverted. So fractional division, I hope everyone knows fraction division. So if I say A upon B upon C upon D, A upon B is going to remain as it is multiplied by, this is going to get inverted, that is going to be D upon C. So similarly, my numerator fraction will remain as it is, multiplied by my denominator fraction is going to get inverted. So yc upon ay. Now I'm going to do just one thing. I'm going to cross multiply. So this will go exactly down. yc हो जाएगा. This will go exactly down if I cross multiply, and this will go exactly up. So ये ay हो जाएगा, and I keep this part as it is, ax upon ac. So what did I do over here, guys? I inverted this, like I told you. I inverted this based on this rule over here, and then once I inverted it, I cross multiplied this over here and this over here. That's it, folks. That's the end of a very important theorem, which is called as the basic proportionality theorem. So we have understood the property as well as the theorem. This is a theorem which ideally comes for 4 marks in your exam. Next time I'll post a video on converse of basic proportionality theorem. Till then, stay tuned and subscribe to our channel, JM Tutorials.